Every year on April 25th, countries and organizations globally celebrate World Malaria Day. The 2023 theme for this year is Time to Deliver Zero Malaria. Invest, innovate, implement, with a particular focus on the implementation of strategies to reach marginalized communities.
Nigeria have the highest malaria burden in the world. In 2022 alone, the African region was home to approximately 95% of all malarial cases and 96% of deaths, with children under the age of 5 accounting for 80% of all malarial deaths. Also in Nigeria, malaria remains a significant public health challenge with an estimated 97 million cases and 300,000 deaths annually. In line with World Malaria Day 2023, it is crucial to assess what the government and individuals can do to accelerate progress towards a malaria-free Nigeria. MD CEO Basic Pharma pharmacist Aduma Joshua took Clearview TV Dex through the measures needed to mitigate this silent killer disease.
It boils down to what I'm talking about, sensitizing the public about what malaria is all about and the fact that malaria is a killer disease. They should not take it for granted. Because there are some medical conditions that when you have, of course, you are already an endangered species when it comes to malaria. And let me just literal meaning of malaria. Mal means bad or malfunction. Then area means air. So malaria means bad air. And you know, if we want to refer to the holy writing, the holy book tells us that, and God breathed into us the breath of life and we became a living being. So that means that air is very important. So when there is any condition that affects the air that you have in your system is a problem. And that is exactly what malaria is all about. So the malaria parasite actually targets your red blood cells. And red blood cell is the part of is actually the blood cell that carries oxygen around your system. And so when the parasite targets your red blood cells, it means that you have bad air in your system. So people that already have condition that they need rapid supply of oxygen to their vital body organs, you will notice that when you have malaria, it compounds that problem. Patients like those that have a sickle cell anemia or those that have any form of compromised respiratory issue, of course, they will be more affected. So we are trying to enlighten people that you should not take symptoms of malaria for granted.
International donors have increased their support for malaria control program in many countries, including Nigeria. However, funding for malaria control is still insufficient to meet global targets for its elimination. Thus, private organizations are stepping up to aid their community and create awareness of services advanced pharmacy provides.
What are the preventive measures? What are the prophylactic measures? What are the pharmacological and non-pharmacological approaches to a particular issue? So when we hand over drugs, we give the people, the client, the necessary advice to follow up. Like for and under that drug information services, we have the right drug for the right client. What are the interactions? Drug-drug interactions, drug-food interaction, drug-disease interactions that can affect the efficacy and the clinical outcome, the quality of life of the clients. So drug information service is one of the things we do here. They also do give good counseling and on the drugs and the medications. We also prescription filling, part of the service, and where there are clients that come from the hospital with prescriptions. So we interpret it based on what has been prescribed by the doctor, and we fill the prescription according to the duration and the dose frequency. Then we have a home delivery. People can order for their drugs online, and we have a system where the drugs are delivered to you at your own convenience, so you don't need to stress yourself coming down to the pharmacy. So these are the high points of some of the services we render here.
Medical experts say the fight against malaria must also include improved access to diagnosis and treatment to reduce the severity of the disease and preventing deaths. Florence Joshua reporting for Clearview News.